All right. Hi, how's it going? My name is Armando Enriquez. I'm going to be going over my read aloud. My read aloud was based on the book I Need a New Butt by Don McMillan, illustrated by Ross Kinnaird. My rationale for picking this particular book was because it's really the only book I have right now. And with everything that's going on, I kind of really haven't had a chance to go out and buy a new book. I felt like it would be much safer to just stay home at the moment. A lot of my school materials are at school. We had an opportunity a little while back to go and kind of clean up our classrooms and bring some stuff from home. I kind of have a small room that I live in, so I took everything that I possibly could use for my class back to my classroom because now everything is online and digital learning is happening. So this was the only book I had available to me. So that's why I chose this book. But also, I went ahead and used this book because of the rhyming that it has in it, and also for the comical aspect, because a lot of the time in my class, I like to be silly with my kids, and they really get a kick out of it. And I like to use a lot of rhyming, singing, on my own to try to influence them to just practice with words and really just get it out there that the more they talk, the more they speak, it's going to influence their learning, their reading, their writing. So that's why I chose this book. My process for reading this book aloud was that I read the story a few times. I thought about concepts of print. I thought about looking for things to point out in the story to students, exclamation marks, tone of voice, and question marks, concepts of print as well, reading left to right, up to down, up and down, and also modeling, just pausing at certain points and being really clear with my words. Before I started reading aloud, I felt nervous because of the recording, but typically in the classroom, I'm not very nervous. Um, I like to be really interactive with the students and put on the voices and kind of, stand up and act things out. It kind of really gets the story a little more intriguing, makes it a little more intriguing for the students. The reactions to the book, the thing is, I've shown this book to my kids before we left school. I got it for Christmas as a gift from another teacher. And so when I got it, I showed it to them, and they were ecstatic about it. They really wanted to read it because of the fact that it was just silly. And I really got a kick out of that because oftentimes it's really hard to get the kids to pick up a book nowadays because we have videos and so many different resources online that they would much rather just have something do it or read it for them. And when we see things like this and kids get a reaction out of it, it kind of reminds me that the good old fashioned books are still really worth something. Um, Strengths, challenges about this read aloud. I just wish this book had more characters so that I can do different voices because I like to have the kids imagine, that reading a book is kind of like watching a movie, but in your head, right? What I could do differently next time is probably have a little bit more of a useful book, something that's a little more kind of related to a unit of study that we're doing, but just for the purpose of reading aloud and kind of um, exposing the kids to a book, I think that this is okay. It's not extremely educational, but at the same time, it does, like I said, have a lot of rhyming words. It keeps the kids entertained, and it also it has a lot of kind of action words and really detail descriptions, or I'm sorry, adjectives that kind of describe the very different bottoms that the boy wants to choose from. So that's kind of good exposure for the students too. What did I learn? I learned about reading aloud to the children. Well, I've had a little bit of practice. Some hard parts are carrying the book. It's really difficult at times, turning pages and still being able to kind of read the book and look at the students. It's kind of hard. So getting used to that is something I really need to work on. And something I learned about myself through read alouds is just to let loose and kind of be just like the kids. Because if they don't see that I'm having fun reading, then they're not going to want to read. And thank you. Thank you for your time. And I hope you appreciated my video. Thank you.